Welcome back to the Completely Set Apart Together podcast. My name is Damien Nash.
And I'm Kenady Nash. And babe, I am so glad to be back at our podcast with our regular intro. And
different setup. Different setup.
Yeah. Because our usual podcast area, we still are in the process
Is it renovation? Is that the word?
Yeah, we can say that. And so, but I like this place too. But we got to make sure we're not too far.
I know. Somebody in the comments called us out, said we was 1,000 miles apart.
We were set apart.
And so you want to sit on my lap today?
Uh-oh.
No,
not for the camera. No. But we also want you to see our podcast sign with our toddler's letters in the back.
So there's a reason why we're so far apart.
And so, but yeah, I'm excited about this podcast, babe. Just talking about our health journey and the new journey. It's not a New Year's goal. This is a new lifestyle.
Yeah.
A new lifestyle.
New house, new health journey.
Yeah, new season that we're in.
Yeah. And I actually like this journey too. So.
Yeah. And so we have made one change in our life for the past 10 days or so. And it's already been amazing. So we're going to share that and talk a little bit about that. But before we do, let's go back to when you were sliding in my DMs and trying to pursue me, and you found out that I was in school to be a registered dietitian. Mm-hmm. What was your thoughts when you found out that was my?
You want me to be honest?
Be honest. Be
okay,
honest.
So I didn't know what a registered dietitian was, and so I had to look it up because you were just so fine, and I'm sliding in your DMs. I was like, I don't care what she do, So I really looked at it. I was like, man, she do important work, trying to help people with their nutrition.
Yeah. So it's like nutritionist is what most people are familiar with that term. But registered dietitian.
And so you help balance people's nutrition. Is that how to put it? Okay.
Yeah. And so be honest, did you feel like I was going to literally take all of your food that you like away from you and just be judging you when it comes to your plate?
No, I mean, you started that way. What are you eating? But you really cooled down.
Hold on. Let's fact check. We're not just gonna brush that. Really, that's how you felt. This is news to me. Yeah. That's how you felt. In what way did I feel like I was judging your plate?
Because you would ask, when we was on the phone, not late at night, but at night, and you're like, "What you eating today?" I was like, "Why she keep on asking me what I'm eating? It don't matter."
So you assume that I was judging you. That's what that is. I was just curious.
I forgive you. I have forgiven you.
And so we are both not perfect. Actually, we did a podcast, last year sometime, several months ago, talking about how God was working on our sweet tooth.
No, your sugar, and you was dragging me along.
No, your sugar.
No.
Yo, we gotta get down to the nitty gritty.
Do we need a counselor to come on here?
My sugar tooth? Because I don't think that's being truthful.
We could talk about families here. And we could talk about whose family has this sugar thing that goes on.
Yeah.
That's your family.
It's both.
No.
I admit. I just need you to admit as well, too.
No. Our family is chips.
Because if I can recollect...
Is that sugar, too, when it breaks down? Is that sugar?
I mean, that is junk food. It's not... Okay. It's, carbohydrate. But as far as, refined sugar and, sweetness, But if I can recall, you told me God said I need to work on my sugar. Clearly, you had a sugar problem.
Yes,
Thank you, you all.
Yeah. So God did tell me. And I remember, a couple years ago, God told me to stop eating those ice cream sandwiches, too.
Because we have all the truth on our last podcast. So I don't know why you putting on the front that it's just me. I admit, we have a sugar problem. We were bred off sugar.
Spicy, right?
And so, you thought I was judging you. No, I was just curious to see what you're eating. But how did your, diet change since being with me?
You changed my diet. So I only drink water mostly. Even in restaurants, I rather eat my calories than drink it. That's her phrase. That's mine.
It's our phrase.
Okay, our phrase. Orange juice. I just maybe half a cup of orange juice. We had 2 things of orange juice the other day.
Didn't you say you used to have kidney stone problems because you were drinking so much juice and stuff?
And the Lord was like, you need to stop this orange juice,
So it seems like the Lord is your dietitian. He was your dietitian, the OG dietitian.
Stop. And you got to think about it, babe. A lot of people want these kingdom spouses, right? And I didn't understand that term until coming into marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot really be a kingdom spouse without being kingdom healthy.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
that's good. Yeah.
Right?
We got to take care of these bodies.
We have to. Why we, you don't want to be broke and disgusted and then trying to lead somebody to Christ, lead somebody to come to church, and you can't breathe or whatnot. And so I think for us, we really want to focus on our health.
Yeah.
And God is just like poking at focus on your health. And so, but yeah, for you came into my life, you helped me, stop going to fast food all the time. Like I haven't been to McDonald's in
because it's
years.
fake food.
Yeah, and
allegedly it's fake food. I don't need them suing me, but it's fake food allegedly.
I haven't been in a lot of places. Like I used to eat Burger King like all the time. Don't do that. Wendy's, we go because the kids.
I don't like Wendy's, but now you have our sons liking Wendy's. I'm like, Lord, fix it.
But yeah, when I was doing ride share, I was stopping at places because it's fast, quick, and we'll get that food. But now, we don't really do all this stuff.
We like more so the wings. That's all. Like we've elevated in our fast food, like wing stuff. You got me on wings and fries hard. And steak. I like steak too, not for you.
Because we like sports as well, and so
you can't watch a good football game without no wings. It's just like a football game too. You're like, the wing. The spirit said wings.
So, but what about me? Like coming into the relationship, how did I change you or influence you in your diet?
I wouldn't. I know this might sound bad, but I think you kind of had me really like chips now.
Love chips. You love chips. Like, especially with a sandwich.
It's like if you are in Nash, you have to like plain chips because we grew up on like flavored chips. Chips wasn't really like something I really cared about.
Put it in your mouth.
But now we be over here fighting over chips. Even our oldest son, he's like, bro, there's chips. And so what else? I don't know. There's more. Help my. No, memory.
I mean you said steak, chicken wings, chips.
So things that protein, get my protein up.
Protein. But really.
But I think too, babe, for me, I've kind of in a negative way limited your fasting in a sense because before me, you were what, like John the Baptist?
They called me John the Baptist. Like I was literally close from locusts and wild honey. Like I was like I'm putting on the sackcloth and everything.
Like the word of God was your food.
Yeah.
Like you was. Yeah, you was fasting all the time. And so I think now with me, you still have your fast routine, but I even remember someone was saying, you need to get back to fasting. Someone prophesied, get off that food. And I was like, that's me. Because I'm like, babe, you taking your vitamins? You get enough fruits and vegetables? You got, and you're like, right, I don't need all that. I got another food you don't know about. Right. And so, and you actually helped me fast too. So that's something as well, like fasting for, not in like a diet weight loss way, but more so, spiritual meanings. And so you've helped me in that way as well too. So, but
But there has been a transition in our life, right? And so, yes, we're talking about some great food, but now I believe God is calling us higher. A new place again, new food. And so talk about that journey for the people. Where did you find out like, okay, I need to head into this direction?
Yeah. And so just to backtrack from that, I'm not a like practicing dietitian right now. The Lord shifted me gears, but I know he's still using that. And like we said, we went on a sugar fast. I mean, not sugar fast, but like, sugar pruning away. Yeah. But even in the hard season that we came out of, with the 2 miscarriages and stuff like that, I kind of fell into sugar again and like food comfort. I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna give you a cookie type thing. And so just coming back around from that, I'm like, okay, I can't use food as comfort. I can't be disobedient just because of grief. And so we've just feeling that nudge again and like, okay, let's start taking care of our health again and being serious and not just like, the yo-yo dieting thing. And, I've been struggling, if you haven't aware, I've been struggling with like an illness or just some kind of ailment for like 5-6 years now. And to no avail, healing, praying, doctors and stuff like that. And, but I felt like God was giving me dreams of what it might be in regards to certain foods that I was eating. And then came across TikTok, shout out TikTok. You find great things on TikTok. You find good or really bad things.
Yeah.
And I
There's
came
no
across,
in-between.
there's no in between. And I came across what people were talking about, fresh milled flour and like, milling their own flour now instead of like eating a lot of processed stuff, processed grains and what they sell at the stores and just everywhere. And, just seeing the rise in like autoimmune diseases and just diabetes and heart disease and all this stuff. And they were just talking about like the link to the flour and like everyone is allergic to gluten now, it seems like, or some kind of intolerance. And
what is it? Celiac disease?
Celiac disease. Well, that's, a main thing, like genetic thing. It's like 1% of the world actually has that, but there's a lot of people that can't.
They would tell you just because of that, okay, nobody need to eat wheat or something like
gluten. And let's take a disclaimer. Everything we share on this is for educational purposes only. And so consult your doctor. And this is not diagnosis medical advice.
Put a ticker down there.
So we're just sharing, we're just talking. Okay, this is
our journey. This is our journey.
And so just sharing about that. And, they were just saying, one lady in particular, she was talking about how she had a lot of like diseases that were just not going away, even with her kids and her husband. And she started milling her own flour and immediately saw the changes. Wow. And like even her husband's blood work changed within a month, where his blood sugars were normal, his cholesterol, his high blood pressure, everything drastically changed. And the only thing that they changed was she started milling her flour and making things from scratch. Anything that was grain, she would make it from scratch. And so I was like, this is interesting. And then she would mention she watched Sue Becker. And I told you about, you're like, hey, Sue Becker, that's the lady from the radio.
She's always on the radio.
And so come to find out, we weren't too far from there. It was like a lot of people would fly all over the country to go to her store. We're like, we're not too far from her. We can make that trip down there. Mm-hmm. And so I had a little experiment. I was like, because the meals were kind of expensive. And what did you say when I brought this TikTok advice to you? What did you say?
I was like, not again. Because my wife will go on these things, and I'm not going to say she say God said, but she'll go on these things like, we got to do this, we got to do this.
I'm passionate about certain things.
Yeah, very passionate. And so every like 2 or 3 hours, if we had fresh meal, flour, it'll be better. Like, come on, man, can you stop?
And so I did a little experiment because I saw someone else on TikTok say you can use a coffee grinder. You don't need a mill. And so what do? We go to you were like, you can go to Walmart and try this out. And it was a flop.
Our son was like, I don't like this.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
And so it was a flop. And then we watched the Bread of Life video from Sue Becker. And we watched it, and it was like a date night thing. Put the kids down. It was like, let's put it
3 hours and 7 minutes.
Yeah, and so we had to watch it on like 1.5 speed with captions because like we ain't got that much time, and I'm gonna be asleep in about 30 minutes because I know that was something you working on. I fall asleep a lot on our movie nights, y'all. Pray for me. It's this couch too. Yeah. I mean, knocked out. And so we watched it
within 30 minutes.
Yeah. And so tell me, what was your thought after you watched it?
So again, I'm very cautious when I'm watching this because I know my wife is very passionate and she's gun-ho on different things. And she was just talking about this for 2 or 3 days straight, right? And then you also said you had a dream that you had wheat.
Yeah, it was a dream, and I didn't really understand what it was about, but it had like a muffin, and it was like processed and like sugar and stuff. And it seemed like the issue that I was dealing with was linked to the muffin. And so that's
so that caught my attention because I know my wife is a dreamer, and when she dreams, they are very specific and they are targeted. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, we have been increasing bread and stuff like that. So I was more open. I was cautious but open to watch this with her that night. And so we started to watch it, and I'm looking at my wife, and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my goodness, this young lady is anointed for what she's doing. Now, she was like, I'm a Christian and all these things.
You talking about Miss Sue.
Miss Sue is anointed. And just listening. And I was like, y'all need to slow this thing down because
we was like, let's do it at 1.25 because we gotta let it hit our soul. But
it was hitting already. And then we stopped, and I think this was a Friday night, and we was like, So we headed there tomorrow. Are we going tomorrow? You know.
Yeah, and so he was on board. He's like, yeah, so you can, we can, I think we can make this investment. This is
It's
important thing.
investment. I kept on saying investment because we have to learn how to switch our vocabulary. We're not in poverty,
Yeah.
right? I think a lot of times when we try to do something that is stretching us, we think it's not sowing a seed.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is sowing a seed in our health.
Yeah.
And it's an investment. And so I wanted to continue that language in the household.
Yeah. And like even some of that stuff was news to me in regards to like the flour. Like we in you know, in school we knew the importance of whole grains and all that stuff. But I never connected like the freshness of flour and even what they sell on the store is being stripped of a lot of things, even the whole wheat that's sold at the store. And she was just sharing how once flour is milled, the nutrients leave within the first, you know, couple of days because of oxidation. And then we reminded in the Bible, they all milled their own flour. Like that was even in, I think Deuteronomy, it talks about how you couldn't even take someone's millstone as a guarantee for a loan because that's taking their life.
Right.
And so it was so important for them to mill their own flour, and it was literally their life outside of Christ. And so we was like, man, and she was just sharing all these different testimonies of people their health radically changing after milling their own flour. And what I love is because the last like half a year, I was trying to make things from scratch anyway. So, but I would use the flour from the store.
And it was good.
And it was good. But it was like just the benefits and how, you know, there's a lot of omega fatty acids and things for anti-inflammatory stuff.
Vitamin E and B and all of that.
And so it's just like all this stuff. And I'm like, man. And we actually knew a friend too who started doing it about 4 years ago. And I had talked on the phone with her and she was saying, yes, like it has literally radically changed my whole family's health.
Yeah.
Like my husband's thyroid issues and, you know, blood pressure and all these different things. And like her things that she was dealing with that literally cleared up within a month.
The bread healed, you know, God healed
through the bread.
Through the bread. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's one thing. We don't want to put the glory on the bread, but God created this, and this is how he intended us to eat it.
If you think about in the story with Joseph, what did he gather for 7 years? Grain. How important is the grain that is whole, right? We say it's whole in the stores, but again, like my wife said, they stripped so many nutrients out. And over, I guess, 30 years, when they saw the decline of the health of the people in, I guess, America, they put like 4 or 5 nutrients back, but we're still missing 35 to 40, I guess, different pieces of nutrients.
The essential nutrients. And you can watch Rebecca's video too.
I don't want to steal the show, but I was like, what is happening?
And I love too, because she went to UJ as well, and she was a food scientist major. And so she knew a lot of this too. So she's not just someone like making up this stuff, but she knew the science behind it as well too. And so that's why I trusted that information as well, because you can find a whole lot of just craziness online.
What got me was when she started. She said that when, I think 30 years ago, of that time of the recording of that video, she used to have nasal problems. And after taking the wheat, she no longer has those nasal problems. And sometimes I struggle with that, and I was like, sign me up.
But you talked about how, because like before you were saying, because when we was there, you was like, yeah, I can't eat wheat, peanut butter. I'm like, bro, I can't do it. But you said when you went to Europe that you could eat the wheat over there and the ice cream, and like you never had any of those problems, and so it was something in the food here. And so we were like, look, we need to try this because, and again, we're not looking to the wheat as the thing, but we're like, Lord, we know you created it. And there's a purpose why people back in the day were eating certain things in their diets and everything. And so it's like, you created it, but sometimes science and technology can actually harm us more than help us. And I think we've been far removed from our food so that we are really taking in things that God did not intend us to in that manner. And so just like the processed grains, the processed sugar. And so it reminded me like, okay, in that dream was a muffin, which represented processed grains and processed sugar. And so we're like, you know what, let's try this. Let's go. And we got our meal. It was like, it's an investment. If y'all see in the corner, the investment on that. And got our grain and started milling. And babe, I remember the first meal that we had. I was not bloated after eating.
She could fit her pants.
I literally could fit my pre-pregnancy pants that I could not fit with the past 3 years, and I would have to like Jimmy rig it with a hair tie. But I was like, babe, I'm not bloated. And then throughout that day, we weren't even hungry.
Right.
Like we didn't crave.
We ate 2 muffins that morning.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't eat till that night, but I wasn't starving.
Yeah.
Usually we was like, let's go to a fast food restaurant and just feed us. You know what I'm saying?
And so we weren't craving sugar outside of, and the muffins were like a healthier, less sugar muffins. They were like naturally sweetened and with the whole fresh milk flour. And I think I made blueberry muffins.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had our lunch later that day. And that whole day we were not craving food. Because before it was like, when we would eat the processed muffins, you're like, man, 2 hours later, like, I'm hungry, bro. Like, when we go eat? I need a snack. And so it was just like crazy. We weren't craving certain things. We were actually full. We had energy. And then a couple of days later, I noticed that with not craving so much, I was losing a little weight, and not in a drastic way, and even being regular in the bathroom and stuff. And I was like, babe, this is really.
If you have a lot of fiber, drink a lot of water.
Yeah. And so, and then I started seeing my skin was clearing up. It was just feeling more moisturized. And then the inflammation in my body was going down.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm not in as much pain as before.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been like 10 days, about 9-10 days since we started. And the spot that I was having areas with inflammation and redness was going down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my goodness, is the Lord healing me through this means?
Wow.
And so it's just been like radically changing our lives and really enjoying it and just making stuff from scratch. And like, I love cooking anyway.
Yeah, she loves cooking. So for me, I want her to enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want it to be stressful.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, are you going to ever eat out? And we was talking about this last night, that if people invite us out, we're not going to be like, no, we're legalistic.
We don't eat dead wheat trash flour.
Like we can give people, a loaf of bread, right? We could. You have to be creative, right? Or we can just eat one. It's not going to throw it all off, like a piece of bread or whatnot, but not be gluttonous while we're doing it.
Because we got to be for real. Like me and my husband, we gonna keep it 100, y'all. We got a problem in this. We had a problem that was last year,
and it was bad.
We would go to places with free. We'd ask, "Do y'all got free bread?"
We would call places.
You ain't got no free bread, we can't go. Or y'all got free bread, cool. So we'd be the ones, we go get full off of this free bread, and we go eat our plate later at home, and we go take some free bread at home too. So we would 3-4 baskets easily. And even our sons we finna get them for their bread, mama. So it was bad.
It was bad.
And so now it's okay, we're gonna practice self-control because that's the issue.
That is a fruit, a part of the fruit of the Holy Spirit.
And that's one thing too. It's I don't want to demonize food. I don't want to be like, I can't touch this. I don't eat that. But I do want to steward my body well. And I've noticed that my body literally has changed with eating more of the fresh flour.
And we rest well too. If you're not bloated, if you don't have inflammation, if you don't have pain and different things, like you even said, some of the pain in your foot has gone away. And it's because of less inflammation that's going through and the nutrients that are going through your body and the toxins that are leaving your body as well. And
so it's just we're excited and we like to celebrate. And yesterday we was we're gonna celebrate, we're just gonna eat out because it's been a while since we've eaten out. And we was but we can't break our fast yet because we want to at least do it for 30 days of no processed grains. And so we're okay, we're gonna eat our spot and still stay within it. So I was proud with that. But just really being a balanced in that and not letting it control us.
Yeah.
And but still understanding everything is good and we bless it. But there are things that we know is not good for our body and for our health. And so
but one of the things that we want to caution, especially if you're trying to date somebody or you're in marriage currently, you have to be on one accord. Because if one person says, no, I ain't doing it, it's going to really bring, especially around the subject of food.
Yeah.
And so really have that conversation, talk about it. Again, my wife is very passionate about certain things, right? And she's going to talk until she wears me out sometimes. But I think this time it was
Yeah.
beneficial for the whole household
Yeah.
because the kids are doing it and they became regular like crazy. Like, bro, y'all need to stop.
Yeah, and also our youngest son, he only ate grains. Like he
Right.
only wants grains, fruit, and his dairy. And so I was like, when I learned that it's more nutritious from the fresh milk because it has all the nutrients, I felt okay with him only eating grains
Right.
as well too. And so I'm just excited, but I also think the importance of not dragging each other in your health journey. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
one thing, even as we talk about the title in here, I didn't want to make it seem like you have to do this. Like, even like there's been times like he's like, man, I'm just gonna eat something because you ain't got no bread made yet. And I was like, you can do that. You know, I'm not gonna put my convictions and what I want to do on you. We don't want to act like, you know, controlling in this area. And
Mm-hmm.
even with sometimes, even with, you know, the season that we're going through, you was like, you knew God was saying no to sugar for you. And I was like, I'm finna get me this cookie real quick. And you held me accountable, but you also knew like where I was in that moment as well. And so it's like, I love the balance between accountability and not control
Mm-hmm.
that we have. And it's like, look, I'm not finna eat that. You can eat that. I ain't gonna judge you, or at least I ain't gonna judge you out loud.
Because one thing is true. One thing is true. It won't take long before the Holy Spirit just, bam, convicts us in the prayer
Yeah.
closet, whether we're in a dream, we're like, we can't do this no more.
Yeah.
And we usually, comply to the Holy Spirit, I would say.
And you also start feeling bad. It's like, man, he don't even eat the sugar with me no more. It's not even fun no more. Because before it's like, you know, shoot, we both doing it. And it's like, man, he ain't had no ice cream in like a month.
Yeah.
And here I am. So I was like, man, I don't even need it. Let me get on one accord with you. And so just
But I
holding each
would
other.
eat, sometimes you like, you want a piece, and I was like, okay, I eat a little cookie, or
No,
give me
there be times too where I'm like, okay, he's not eating no sugar, so I'm finna eat this all to myself. You're like, hey, let me see what it tastes like. I'm like, man, you gotta choose ye this day. Like, are you giving up sugar or not? You can't just be in and out.
You're right. You're right. I'll take that.
So,
Accountability.
yeah. But I just love to what Sue Becker, and again, y'all need to check that out. We've been putting a lot of our friends
No,
on.
for real. I had my boy on the phone for about 15 minutes. This dude sends me he sends me like this picture of his trunk filled with the meal and like buckets of
Yeah,
grain.
grades. People making that trip. And so we've been trying to just share the knowledge. And again, y'all gotta pray on your own. And then some people might not be able to in the moment get the meal financially, or it's not even available that much. There's a lot of people that are going back to milling their own flour. And so it's hard to get these meals out here. We were blessed to be closer to the place than, most people are. And so, but doing what you can, seek the Lord on it. But I'm telling you, from our personal experiences, educational purposes only, we're not telling you what to do. Seek your doctor. But just literally seeing the difference, the radical difference. It's not a trend. It's not a fad. This is just going back to how God.
Cult either. People call it a cult.
And just really going back to how God intended, and that's the thing too, babe. As we're closing out on this, we always want to look to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
He is our healer. He is the true bread of life. Yes, we know in the Bible there is a lot of emphasis on bread, and that was a main staple around people's diet. But we always want to look to Jesus. We never want to worship the creation, but we have to worship the creator, and we can thank him for the good things that he's created to help our body. And so we always want to make sure that when we're balancing this health journey, that we don't come consumed and idolize the food and demonize certain things, but in gratitude and thanksgiving, but also self-control and taking good care of our temple, but really knowing that our source is Jesus Christ.
That's good. As we were going through this journey over the last couple of days, God's been taking me to different scriptures in the Bible, and he took me to Matthew 4:4, and I can read that for us. And it says, Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." And this is a scene where the enemy is taking Jesus up to a high place, and he is the first thing you gotta think about. The first thing he says is like, listen, if you are truly God, turn this stone into what? Bread. Whenever you see the first of anything, you have to look at it. How important is it? And so I want you to ask yourself, how important was bread in that time, in that culture, if the enemy himself would try to have Jesus turn a stone into bread. But
Yeah.
Jesus knew that he was the bread of life, right? And so he sustains us. He is our sustenance, right? And so, yes, we are on this health journey. And again, contact your doctor and just ask them what type of journey that you need to be on. But we see in the word of God that bread was very important, but whole breads, right? The germ and the bran connected to everything else creates the oils and makes it taste so much better than the store. We have
We were
pizzas.
surprised, like
Yeah.
how good it's like fresh whole wheat tastes nothing like the whole wheat that's on the store.
And what I say, what my guys say, and again, take this with a grain of salt, not a wheat. But bro, they lied to us, bro. That thing tastes good.
They good.
That thing good.
That thing good. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie to you. But again, consult your doctor.
Yeah, and also, if you're not aware, we do coaching. And so if you're someone who is wanting relationship coaching or even health coaching, learn more about lifestyle change, you can click a link in the description, fill out the application, and we'd love to sit down and talk with you. And so we're excited about this journey. We'll continue to keep you up, but right now, 10 days in, we have seen a lot of change. And I think I got to mill some flour for our pita bread.
Oh yeah.
We're having Mediterranean tonight, so I got some milling to do.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. When's pizza night again? Or pizza day or pizza?
And if you have any questions on the fresh meal journey, put it in the chat. I'll try or the comments, and I'll try and get back to you on what I know.
Right.
I did have a lot of people reach out on Instagram and just asking about my journey, and I really, really enjoy it. And I like cooking as well too.
Yeah.
Providing nutritious food for my family. So
well, again, my name is Damien Nash.
And I'm Kenady Nash.
And that's a wrap and a bop and a and we out.
Let's get closer.
We're set apart, but never alone. Walking in faith, love overflows. Through every storm, through highs and lows. Completely set apart together.